As many of you know, I have a petition open in the House of Commons to kind of go after corporations. Just recently, actually, there was another petition in the House of Commons. That petition closed, was presented, and the government came out with a response yesterday. And that's what you're asking for. You want my take on it, so here goes. The petition itself, let's go through that first, highlights the facts that Loblaws currently owns a grocery store within 10 kilometers of 90% of Canadians. Loblaws has posted record profits while many Canadians struggle to eat. Loblaws has monopolized basic necessities that Canadians rely on. Loblaws introduced a price freeze, however, have failed to live up to that promise. The price of food is rising and more Canadians are relying on food banks to get food to their family. And Loblaws in the middle of the pandemic cut their pandemic pay for workers. The undersigned citizens of Canada to call upon the House of Commons to open a parliamentary investigation into Loblaws for their pandemic profiteering, greedflation, and continued price gouging of Canadians, and open an investigation into the monopolization of Canadian grocery stores, and to create legislation to prevent this from occurring. Again, it's asking for those two things. So the petition was open for signature January 12th of this year, closed a month later, beginning of February. It was presented to the House of Commons by MP Blake Desjardins, and it had 17,073 signatures in that 1 month of being open. The government then took it away, and the response by the Minister of Innovation, Science and Industry, the Honorable Francois-Philippe Champagne, he's the same one that the Rogers deal, he was the minister that needed to give final approval for that, and he did. Their response, it's wordy. Pause each slide. I'm gonna put them up now. I see some gaps here from the call to investigate Loblaws and the response given by the government. So the petition specifically asks for an investigation into Loblaws for pandemic profiteering, greedflation, and continued or any actions taken against Loblaws for these actions. So the petition also called for an investigation into the monopolization of the Canadian grocery industry and to create legislation to prevent this from happening again. While the government's response does mention an effort to improve Canada's competition laws and enforced framework, it does not specifically address the issue of the monopolization of the grocery industry or any plans to prevent it from continuing to happen or to undo what's already happened. Government's response, it focuses heavily on changes being made to the Competition Act, but it doesn't mention any immediate action to address the rising cost of food in Canada or the impact on Canadians who are struggling to afford food at this time. It talks about global root causes for this inflationary period, but it doesn't provide any specific solutions or plans to address this. So overall, they didn't really respond at all to what the asks were of the petition. They gave a bunch of words. You could just say, like, we're not going to investigate. They didn't do that. The government's response does highlight efforts to improve competition law. It does not directly address the specific concerns brought up in the petition regarding Loblaws' acquisition of other companies and price gouging and the monopolization of Canadian grocery stores. Overall, didn't really get what we wanted there. I guess this is going to be a foreshadowing to the kind of response our petition's going to get, right? We're calling on the government to do a lot of things to crack down on large corporations that are taking advantage of tax loopholes, taking our tax dollars, and sign it if you haven't already. It's through the House of Commons, the same as this one. It's going to have its chance to be heard and we will get a response. I really, really urge you to contact your MPs on the website I've created, eattherichcanada.com. I've put in a Google Doc that will show you how to find your MP, get their email address, and I've provided some templates that you can use to send them an email to let them know how important this is to you, because we need all the MPs to be aware of this petition and to be in support of it, so that hopefully when they take this away, they take it a bit more seriously and understand how important this is to Canadians. So this is our second stab at the whole Loblaws thing, because a lot of the things that are in the petition I have open currently will, be a pain in the ass for Loblaws if implemented. So let's do it and eat the rich, Canada.